What's up, guys? Johnny Chase here, and welcome back to the club. And it is time for another fan games list. That's right, I'm bringing it back. We got 5 more fantastic fan games that you guys should check out. Again, the criteria for this is that they can't be ROM hacks. They can't be games that you can play on emulator. They have to be standalone projects. And I got some good ones for you this time. If there's a game you think I missed, go check the playlist here. I probably already talked about it, but if you've gone through all the videos and there's one that I have missed that you think I should check out, leave it in the comments below, because there are a couple in this list that I've actually checked out because of your comments. And as always, if you like the videos, please like, share, comment, subscribe, do all those things YouTube tells us to do. And let's get into the first one. And the first one I want to talk about is one that's been on my peripheral vision for a while. I've seen other content creators play it and finally had a chance to play it myself. This is Marvel Infinity War. It's another open Beats of Rage game. This one is a labor of love, and there is so much attention to detail in so many characters. So not only do you have an original story that these developers created, where, I mean, it's your essential Marvel story. You've got the Infinity Stones, the Infinity Gems, you have to collect them all to beat the big bad. I haven't gotten too far into the game because, like I said, it's a labor of love, and there's a lot of modes into this. So not only do you have an original campaign with almost 100 different characters from the Marvel universe with several different color skins, but they've went out of their way to recreate some of the best beat 'em ups in the Marvel universe. So you've got the arcade X-Men, you've got X-Men Mutant Apocalypse, you've got Maximum Carnage, Marvel Superheroes War of the Gems. I mean, the list goes on and on. There's like, this is a huge package. You could at least like sink maybe like 20-30 hours into this, playing with friends, playing by yourself. So basic controls: jump, attack. A lot of the characters have fighting game moves, as they did in like X-Men Mutant Apocalypse. Well, you know, you're doing quarter circle attacks to do other moves. Everyone's got a special move that there's a special meter that builds up that you can use. There's like assist characters that come in. Some of the other characters, let's say like the Punisher, you can get additional weapons for. So like he has a standard pistol, but you can pick up a machine gun to mow down other enemies. And what I like is that they have mostly new sprites for the new game, but if you go into, like, say, Maximum Carnage, you've got the same enemy placement and the same sprites from those games as well. And probably it's kind of the definitive way to play Maximum Carnage. If you remember on the Sega Genesis and the Super Nintendo, Maximum Carnage, 2 playable characters in Spider-Man and Venom, not 2 players. So they've gone ahead and, you know, solved that for you. But yeah, you know me, I love the Beats of Rage games that the fans create, and this is another top-notch one. I put that up there with TMNT, Rescue Palooza, Beats of Power from Power Rangers, and the He-Man Masters of the Universe game. So if you want another great beat 'em up using the open bore engine, go check out Marvel Infinity War. Now, as I said before, I don't want to include a whole lot of Mugen games on here, just because, like, throwing in a shit ton of characters with a massive roster, I mean, it's cool and all, but it's not really something I should feel is covered. I mean, there are plenty of versions of Mugen you can get that has like a roster of like hundreds of thousands of characters, but I like to tend to go for the ones that have a theme, or actually try to recreate something. And I think we found one in this version. This one's called Mortal Kombat 2 Remix. So basically, this is like a higher definition version of Mortal Kombat 2, presented in 16:9. Sprites have been updated, the backgrounds have been updated as well as the gameplay. So it does not play traditionally like Mortal Kombat 2. It takes from MK3 and Ultimate MK3 with the run button, the combo system. Some of the characters have new moves as well, like it was with like Scorpion and Sub-Zero, who I did the majority of my playthrough with. There's way more moves that you could pull off, better effects. They keep everything true to form with the original Mortal Kombat 2. The story is still the same. But one of the things I've also loved that they did in this is that they have the unlockable characters there. So Jade and Noob Saibot are there. You don't have to do any crazy things to unlock them. But they also have their other secrets as well. So if you look at the back of the Pit 2 arena, you look for a character that looks exactly like Liu Kang, but with green pants instead of red. Apparently that's a character named Hornbuckle. I managed to get him on one of my ladder attempts. And as before, when you have like the introduction of that character, he's just a mishmash of others. Like if you remember Reptile in MK1, he wasn't really defined with like his invisibility and acid spit. He had the spear and he had like basically Scorpion and Sub-Zero's movesets combined. But in this one here, Hornbuckle's got some crazy moves. He's got invisibilities, at least me to be more like Reptile in that regard. But like I love the artwork in this. I love how everything has just been bumped up to 11 with the visuals. So it keeps that 1632-bit feel, the digitized graphics from before, but everything looks way more enhanced. The sprites look bigger in contrast to everything else. Now that could just be my own nostalgia kicking in, where I played the majority of Mortal Kombat 2, not in arcades unfortunately, but on the Super Nintendo. Yeah, like I would highly recommend, if you're looking for a crisper looking experience, and go check out using the Mugen engine, Mortal Kombat 2 Remix. Now I want to talk about one that's technically not done, but I was kind of impressed with, that I wanted to check out, and I'm going to be following the project, and maybe I'll include it in a future video once the project's complete. So this is a Mega Man crossover game called Mega Man NX. So essentially what this is, that this creator is going through and he's adding in character sprites and levels and mechanics from other Nintendo games into the realm of Mega Man. So it starts off, you start off on a tutorial stage just to kind of get you acclimated to everything. You fight the big B from Mega Man X, and then you have 3 playable levels so far. Right now there's only 3 levels available. There's Fire Mario, Ice Kirby, and Link from Zelda 2: The Adventure of Link. Now what I love about this is that when you're going to the levels, they're not so much treated like traditional Mega Man levels. They're actually treated like the levels in their respective franchises. Like when you play the Zelda 2 level, it feels like Zelda 2. Like you're in the fields at first, you know, killing the base Zelda 2 levels, and then all of a sudden you're at a dungeon. You're going through, you're going through the dungeon, you're getting the keys, you're getting to the final boss. The only thing I will say though, and I hope we change this, but I kind of would have preferred if you got like the Zelda 2 boss music in there instead of the Mega Man 2 boss music. Like, no offense, like Mega Man 2, we love that soundtrack. I love that soundtrack. It's great. But I think to keep like the theme going, maybe have the boss themes for each individual character. But I know we just want to keep this in the realm of a Mega Man game. So there's that. It's again, this game's very early in its stages. So much so that I don't think they have Robot Master weaknesses done, because when I got the beam sword from Link, tried to use it against Kirby, not as much damage as if I would just use the Mega Buster. Same thing after I beat Ice Kirby. I thought Ice beats Fire. Ice should beat Fire Mario. Ice did nothing. I actually had to fight Mario with my Mega Buster to beat him that way. But I love with the fact with they kept a lot of the mechanics again from the game. So like you go to the Kirby level, there are like the little bomb mirrors to clear out. You transfer over via warp stars. With the Mario level, there are pipes to go down, and the cool thing is that they added in the Mario Stomp ability, so you don't have to shoot Goombas or Koopas. You can just hop on them and kick them or squish them. I love how they kept that that in there. So again, this game is still in its early stages. Only 3 of the 6 bosses that are on there. I believe like he's looking towards to do Kid Icarus, Samus, and Simon Belmont in the future. But this is one I'm going to keep an eye on. It's, I believe, currently still on itch.io. So look up Mega Man NX and follow the development. And once the final game is done, I'll do a full video on it, or probably put it as another 5 fan games video. But for now, I just wanted to do a quick look and take a look at Mega Man NX. And I think you should check it out too. So next up, did you ever want to play Link's Awakening in HD, but not necessarily that new art style that Nintendo wanted? You just wanted to keep it in the old traditional 8-bit Game Boy style. Well, got the game for you. This is Legend of Zelda Link's Awakening DX HD Edition. So with this one here, it's the entirety of the game on PC in widescreen, but the whole map is visible at one time. So much so that you can zoom out and see the entire map and still play it that way. It's near impossible, but you could do it. So with this, Everything runs at a quick pace. The controls are there, and they also brought in the elements from Link's Awakening on the Switch, where you can have extra buttons for extra items. So if you have a gamepad, you're playing with 4 face buttons. So you've got something for your shield, you got something for your sword, but like you did on the Game Boy, maybe you have to switch to the Pegasus boots and the feather to do the jump. Not in this, you can have them all mapped to the same one. Now, what I'm finding is when I'm playing this, it's actually because we're not doing screen for screen for screen, the gameplay goes way faster. So you're not in that, even though there's like only a few seconds in between transitions on the original, you're not really experiencing that when you've got the whole map to play with. So normally what would take me a couple hours to get to one area, I was already into like the 3rd dungeon by like hour 1. It was crazy how fast this game was going. So this one, unfortunately, was only up online for like a day before Nintendo clamped down and C&D'd it. So this one's a little bit more harder to find, but if I can find a reputable link, obviously, for all these fan games, the links will be in the description below if they are still available. But again, Google is your friend. So if you're looking for another way of playing Link's Awakening, I think you should definitely check this one out. Link's Awakening DX HD. Now, finally, we're going to take a look at a game that was actually recommended to me by a fan in the comments of a previous video. So you've seen me play through Castlevania Revamped. You've seen me play a little bit of Castlevania Chronicles 2, Simon's Quest. And now I'm going to actually take a look at its sequel. This is Castlevania Chronicles 3, Dracula Curse. So this is a new take on the 3rd game in the NES lineup. This one I found really interesting. So obviously, redrawn sprites for Trevor, Grant, Sypha, and Alucard. Alucard actually kind of reminds me of a vampire character from Bloodstained Curse of the Moon, if not a little. Now, one of the things I noticed about this is that there are no branching paths. So if you remember in the first game, once you beat the first stage, you had a branching path. You could go to the clock tower to go save Grant, or you could just continue on your way towards Dracula's castle and take the lower path. This one does not have that. This is a completely linear game, so there are no branching paths. But one of the things I admire this developer for doing is they've added backstory missions. So after I saved Grant and he told me the harrowing tale of his quest to defeat Dracula, it actually goes into a 3rd stage where you solely play as Grant. It's a completely original stage and actually kind of gets you acclimated to his moveset. So you know that he can cling to walls. And they brought on a few of his abilities from the Famicom version that were absent in the North American version. So he's able to throw daggers without having to use any hearts or special items. So one of the other things I noticed too is that you have your sub weapons as always, but you also have like the magic crash system that they introduced back in Rondo of Blood and Dracula X for Richter. This one actually does not consume like a set number of hearts. You actually have like a magic meter that will slowly build up and then you can use that. I thought this would be a detriment, especially against boss fights, but they actually weakened it for most bosses. It's not something that you can spam. Now, here's another thing that you'll notice a big difference if you play this version versus playing, the OG versions from Konami on the NES, is that the bosses are harder, way harder. I never have a problem fighting the first boss in Dracula's Curse, but this one, oh man, like I think I went through a couple continues before I even got this. Grant was no problem, but after that, yeah, I was having a little bit of trouble with this. And I will say too, like, don't think that because you've played Dracula's Curse that this is gonna be a breeze. This game is hard. Like, they introduced a new mechanic where you can actually do Richter's backflip by jumping twice. That kind of messed me up on a few jumps, so I kind of like, backwards myself into a few pits a few times. And especially too in the clock tower when you're trying to go through the gears, trying to jump forward, if you misstep or if you start to do the falling animation, it'll just treat it as if you're doing a flip and you'll just go towering down. Now, that's one of the other things too about this is that the backflip actually can be a little bit of a help, because when you're doing the backflip, you're temporarily invulnerable. So that will help a lot with some of the boss fights. I found, at least with the first boss fight, that's how they had to get through a few of those early boss fights. The thing is, always that I kind of did the Symphony of the Night thing where I just got the holy water and bam, Hydro Storm, and that kind of helped. But some of the other footage you're seeing here, if it's past stage 3, this is not me. Credits to the original uploader here. But goddamn, this game is hard. I want to show you a little bit more of it. But I had already put in like 3 or so hours into it and I couldn't advance far. So big ups to this guy for doing what I can't. I guess I'm a bad gamer. But there's something I wanted to hold off on putting my own playthrough and spin on that, because it's something I actually want to play and stream for myself. If you guys don't know, on this channel and over on my Twitch channel, I co-stream and I play a lot of different games. So why don't you go give me a follow or subscribe to the channel here if you like live stream content as well. But I digress. Castlevania Chronicles 3 Dracula's Curse is a fantastic remake of the original, and you guys should definitely check it out. So that's it, guys. Another 5 fan games I think you guys should check out. Please tell me what you thought of this, and if there's any that I've missed, again, go check out the previous episodes. And if I still missed something, please leave it in the comments below. I'm always looking for new fan games that I think are worthy of you guys checking out as well. That's it, guys. I'll see you in the next one. My name's Johnny Chase, and keep playing games. Games are fun. See you in the next one.